They got all my business. They got all my business in the streets. They talking about the library. That's all right. I ain't mad at it. What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Dr. Love, Holt the Pussy Priestess, and I am tuning into you live. That is right. I am finally live, y'all. I am finally live. Oh my God. The way I had to tussle and fight a man. The way I had to tussle and fight, but that's okay. I came to give you what you need. All of the great Coutois content that you've never heard of, you'll find it right here. All of those things that you didn't understand about your body, we're going to understand it together. Amen. As a person who has been a survivor of cancer, I just, I feel obligated to give the girls the real tea because no doctors was interested in helping me. Let's be quite clear. And they were looking at me like I was a cash cow, baby. I was gonna pay for all of them procedures, let them take my uterus, and I did not go. I was not going. So I risked my life and my well-being to make sure that I can give you these facts. Now we are in the library, honey. And let me tell you, I don't care. That y'all get to see my ambiance. I could probably zoom in a little bit. Hold on. Let me see. Oh, no, I can't. That's all right. That's okay. We're going to keep it cracking. So, you know me, I'm Dr. Love Holt. I'm your local pussy priestess, right? I came and pulled up on the library because I've been trying to build my own podcast studio at home, and I don't know how to work none of that stuff. None of it. So, we're going to be right here in this library until I learn. Now, what I am going to do is make it a little ambiance, you know. I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna put a green screen behind me and my guests, so then we can be on the beach, baby. We can be in the Turks and Caicos, baby. We can be wherever you want while we talk about this hardcore coochie facts because it's gonna be a traumatic ride for some of us. I'm going to be ripping lace from the glue with no remover because at the end of the day, it's so important that we know this information. It's important why we know people wanted to keep it away from us and why it's important for us to understand, you know, why it is important that we take back our healing power as women because of what it does for communities and what it does for societies, right? And at the end of the day, society has never really contributed to the boom as much as they do everything for a little taste, amen. Uh, as much as they do everything for a little taste, they want us to not know our power. Now, black women on my live, this is for you. I mean, it's for all women, but go ahead. Just don't be offended when I call out my girls, because I'm doing it for us. And you know, you know how it is when people don't want you to know you're magnificent. People don't want you to know your greatness. You know how it is. You know how that can be. And so this is that, just on mass scale, honey. These people don't want us to know our greatness. They don't want us to know our ability and how magnificent this womb of ours is. And so that's okay. We getting it. We learning it. And they cannot stop it. Even if they stop me, these podcasts will live forever. And I hope y'all continue to share and watch me because I'm here for us in a way that they weren't. And you will know that by the time you get to know me and who I am and all the things that I'm doing and all of the important things in my life, you will know that Dr. Love was here for you and you and you and herself too. And so let's get into it. I know it's been, listen, we've been waiting on this. So, first things first, let me clarify that this book debacle is trying to kill me, y'all. I was completely oblivious to the fact that they don't want this information out. I had let it go over my head that there possibly is some people with guidelines and rules behind what I can put in my book and how I can say things because I live in a banned state. That's right, y'all. I'm a Missourian, St. Louis, SCL on the cap. You know what time it is. So um, I did not realize that they wouldn't want me to share certain things, right? And that's okay. I get it. You know, everybody is kind of just now dusting off the truth about our reproductive rights and bodily autonomy because of all of this heavy presence in these bans, all of these laws. As you know, Missouri is under a total ban right now. And there are companies like Abortion Action Missouri and Action STL, and they are doing everything they can to fight for our bodily autonomy and freedom. And so it's quite important that somebody like myself starts spitting them facts and not just acting like I'm Dr. CB or Queen of Fool. We have enough of those because, baby, you can be nappy head and not homely looking, amen. Glory be to God. You can be fashion forward, amen, and still wear all that silk and linen and stuff you like to wear. But it just wasn't for me. Nobody was reaching me. And so I had to start doing my own thing. I started years ago. And let's not get it twisted. I am a natural nappy head and proud to be, smelling like Egyptian musk and essential oils, Bookie. I love the life that I live, but I understand that it doesn't have to fit a group or a type of personality. So I made the V book because I felt like it would reach everybody. Like, come on. If you got a vagina, if you don't, there are men who made the purchase, women, girls, everybody make the purchase. And that's what I wanted. I did not want it to feel like it was just for women. I wanted to feel like I made it just for you, Black woman, woman of color. I made it just for you because we are the least of these. And if I can make something that can serve and heal what the societies would call the least of these, then what could I do for the rest of us that fall in line? And so, if you know anything about business and branding, your whole model goes after one type of person. And so that's my person, my target audience, Black and brown marginalized women who have experienced sexual and reproductive abuse. Okay. And that spans over a lot of subjects, but just keep that in your mind. So I'm a public figure as well. And I, again, did not think twice about publishing this book, honey, with all of my secrets, honey, that I've cultivated over the years, all of this work that I have put in on trying to educate myself and heal my body from cervical cancer and chronic BV, chronic yeast infections, reoccurring yeast. Like, oh my God, my coochie could have just really jumped off my body. And it started because my mom ended up having to get a hysterectomy at 30 years old. And even as a kid, I felt like that was young. I don't know. I was a wise kid. Let's not focus on that part. I was a wise kid, but even at that very young age, I thought that that was young. Like, ooh, she's only 30 years old. They had to take her uterus, and I can only imagine it's because she was having chronic problems. Because a lot of women in my maternal side of the family have womb complications. Didn't understand them. Had to get surgeries, and I was like, I ain't going because I'm scared. I know I want some titties real bad, but I don't want nobody to cut me for me, man. So I don't know how I'm gonna get them. I'm just rubbing and praying, amen. Rubbing and praying. If you know me, I've been massaging these titties since 2017, and I don't know if they've gotten any bigger, but let me live in my dream. Anyway, I went and researched and dedicated all of my time to research those facts and those that information, and I had compiled a large compendium of like 12 journals. I was obsessed. See, my form of ADHD make me research stuff until my brain say okay. And so I'm still researching. I'm still researching. But I did focus groups, worked with doctors, and now like all of my information is just so potent that you really could just take one or two of my tips and change your whole coochie life. Coochie popping. Dr. Love then gave you one tip, and now your coochie is popping. And I love that for me. Yeah, I love that. I love that for us. Amen. And so I have had so many delays in this book getting out. I want to thank each and every person who purchased the book, the pre-sale purchases. I want to thank everybody who follows me, shares my stuff, texts their friends. I see you, I hear you, big girl, and I just want to give you a voice. I hate womb shaming, and I thought the most discreet way to make sure people can get their information is to put it in small books. So I published it on Amazon or tried to on KDP. And baby, I got that uploaded kickback and it would not upload and it would cancel my upload and it would not be any feedback on why my upload was canceled. So that happened for like 2.5 weeks. I'm like, what am I doing wrong? I watched all the YouTube channels, y'all, and didn't one of them tell me that you cannot have words on the spine unless it's a certain amount of pages. So for 3 weeks, for 3 weeks, I'm uploading this book and I forgot that the cover art has my name and da 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 on the spine. So I go in, I take that off, upload. It's successful. I'm selling books. I'm a badass. I'm doing my thing. And then all of a sudden, I noticed that Amazon pulls the book. I'm like, what is going on? The beautiful period book. So I'm like, okay, let me get in here and figure this out. As I'm figuring out the beautiful period, they pull herbs, sex herbs, and feminine magic. I'm like, so I have to call people and I'm sitting on the phone with them and they don't have answers. And then I gotta go research and read all of these pages and pages of articles of troubleshooting. And I finally, after an entire month. So remember, we spent 3 weeks trying to figure out you can't put labels and words on your spine of your book if your book isn't a certain amount of pages. That's the first thing. And then it took me another month because I kept re-uploading my book, my manuscript, changing the cover, doing everything that I could. Nothing was working. Y'all, do y'all know why? And this is how you know the systems that they try to create to be against us. These people took my book down because I used certain words too many times. Guess which word? Guess which word? Y'all, they pulled my book off Amazon because I used the word vagina too many times. I couldn't believe it. And that's when it really sent me on a rabbit hunt. So I'm chasing a white rabbit now because I'm trying to figure out what is going on and how deep does this really run? Now, I've worked in politics for the past 4.5 years. I fight for abortion equity. I do. That's my calling. That's what I fight for reproductive justice. But right now, our abortion access is freaking under attack, and we need to do something about it. I know Black people find it a taboo subject to talk about this kind of thing, but let me tell you, it's time to get untaboo, Bookie. It's time because Black women are not the highest population getting abortions, but we will be the highest population that will suffer from lack of access to abortions, safe ones. And so for years, I was the lady who did the thing. Okay, if they want to come get me now, it's time because I'm Rogan. I'm coming out swinging with all the vagina stuff. I'm like, I'm getting my baddies Caribbean on all over this legislative session. So yeah, they really want to suppress that voice. And I realized that this rabbit hole that I was on merged with the whole practice of obst- obstetric OBGYN practice. Uh it just met up in a crazy fork in the road in my research right at the part when our constitution came out. So if you know anything, our founding fathers pretty much came up with this structure, governmental structure that we have, and they wanted to get from under monarchy, right? You know, where there's like one ruler, and they wanted to get away from dictatorships, right? And so they wanted to make this democracy where there's all these processes for voting and da 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 da. And I know it doesn't seem like it has anything to do with anything, but before I give it all away, before I bust this thing wide open, I know you remember big mamas and grandmamas talking about how they couldn't have their own bank account back in the day without their husband. They couldn't have a job outside the home. No, they couldn't vote. They couldn't buy any big purchases. They could not have a bank account. That's really pushing my wig back because she's getting the coin these days. She about the only person getting the coin. The brother, he getting the coin, but the girls is getting that coin. And so for us to not be able to have a bank account, honey, I can't even imagine. As many transactions from Amazon go through my thing. I could not imagine having to use my husband's bank account to buy all of these insignificant things on TikTok. I couldn't see it. Nevertheless, it intersects right there together. So we have to know that somewhere in ancient history, they knew the science of a womb. They knew how much of a threat it was. Y'all, just imagine you in a village, right? Let's say you beefing with a village across the water, and they come in and they kill everybody in your village except for 3 women and a baby girl and whatever. that village can completely repopulate itself. And no, I'm not talking about like immaculate conception. What I'm talking about is all I have to do is go find a sperm donor, amen. And they can regenerate their whole entire community. That is huge. 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 So that's just the tip of the iceberg of some of the things we're going to get into. I'm going to teach you about esoteric wisdom behind your lady parts and all of the things that we don't understand when it comes to our vagina. I'm going to teach you about herbs in your spice cabinet that can get you right and ways you can get your man or your partner right so that you guys can have a sexy, healthy sex life. I'm going to teach you about the laws and the policies surrounding vaginas and things that keep us restricted as women and why they are obsessed with banning IVF, banning abortions, and pretty much trying to force millennials to have children. Because these Gen Zs, millennials, they're not having kids like Big Mama used to. A lot of us got about 5 to 12 aunties and uncles in my age group, which I'm not telling y'all that good black, but it's about 1 or 2 children in a family lineage. And so, in order to keep white supremacy alive, amen, they can't let that die. Uh-uh. They cannot let it die. They have to continue to feed the machine. And the machine right now in America is capitalism. Cannot forget that machine. And um I'm sorry, capitalism and white supremacy. So those machines need bodies. Those machines need people. And they most likely can't be black. So it's just so interesting. It's almost like these people know something about manifestation that we don't. It's almost like they have these hidden secrets of wisdom around the womb because I can prove to you that the oppressed black woman is the reason why the black man is a target. And I know y'all want to make it seem like the man ahead and everything and not real. I don't want to hear that shit. We ain't talking about that today. We can talk about that on another podcast because y'all know I'm Reverend Dr. Love, theologist, well studied, and a preacher. So we can get into that biblical talk later. So don't come on my stuff trying to tell me about how a man is the head and your life is in shambles. Your reproductive health is in shambles. Your family life is a fraud and the cohesiveness of it is not real. And so we need to get real. See, the Bible tells us, since you want to go there, ain't nobody even talking to me. I done made up somebody. But since we are there, everything in spirit, same in truth, right? So, and if truth means that the woman is oppressed, all the chemicals in different foods and body products have carcinogens and things that attack the womb. Um, if you want to talk about how disconnected the OB practice is, all of that reflects in the spirit realm as disregard, as a back turn, as betrayal. And if y'all know, God don't like ugly. So balance will be restored 100%. And I know that God has a plan for everything 100%. But I definitely cannot sleep on the fact, honey. Definitely can't sleep on the fact that it's important that we recognize the importance of who we are as womb bearing individuals, even down to all of the trans arguments about trans being real women and not being real women and all this craziness. Let me tell you, you can be who you want, you can identify how you want. And maybe we just need to come up with a whole class of individual for uterus bearing people because that includes people who may not look like a woman. And I'm tired of us having that stupid debate. So listen, if you want to be a woman, you don't have a uterus, you feel it inside, absolutely do your thing. 100%. If you are identifying as a woman, whatever. But those struggles are still vastly different from the struggles of uterus bearing people. And so we need to come up with a phrase for us. Come on now, flyer flags, because there is no group for me. The regular chicks don't like me because I be popping my vagina stuff. And the trans groups may not like me sometimes because I'm a woman and my woman body do woman things and blah blah. But at the end of the day, it needs to be space for us, those of us. Oh, and let's not forget that I ain't never had a coochie problem people. Oh Lord, those people are the worst. But I've never had a coochie problem people, the worst. And they try to be bullies to other women. Maybe they try to coochie shame you. We not coochie shaming. And don't think you're finna start getting in my comments. I know I stop coochie shaming folk because we not doing that. We're not doing that. Because all of that came about because we wanted to compete with each other for men. So, baby, just because your coochie ain't never smelled because it's numb, I'm sure you also have never enjoyed sex. I'm sure you also have never climaxed. Because if it ain't smelling like wet, then that booty ain't it didn't bust. The climax never happened. It's gonna smell like something. Water, moist towels. I don't know. I don't care. But it's not gonna smell like nothing. Then we be jealous of white girls because they gotta wear all that fragrance. Baby, did you hear when I say they got to wear it? The moment Becky don't come in here with all that Bath and Body Work and all that herbal stuff in her hair smelling good, baby, and them fabric sheets with all that fragrance, honey, amen, she gonna smell like a something unpleasant. I'm not gonna do that because I love white girls too, but we need to start really addressing these issues and stop shaming each other. Let's destigmatize this thing that we are using against each other, and let's really rework the way we approach how we look at our body, how we care for them, and how we even articulate our womanhood, because the soft life is a real thing. Like, the soft life is a real thing. Like, and we cannot get into it without first acknowledging our wombs and our feminine bodies as being like the most divine thing out here. I know you think Ray Ray from up the street is the most divine thing out here, but Bookie is you. Is you. And just making sure you have Ray Ray is not the way that you edify the beauty of who you are. That's not it. You know what it is? Telling Ray Ray he can go to hell because he stood you up the other day and block his phone calls until he come to your house with roses and coffee. I live by it. I live by it. The moment we start elevating ourselves, we might spend a little more time alone, but that time alone should be filled with self-care. You should be giving yourself a facial. You shouldn't be trying to figure out who's finna take you to hit the streets. Hit the streets by yourself. Go to the movies. Go shopping. Take a long bubble bath. A long bubble bath. Amen. I'm gonna repeat that because I know it's some bath haters out here, and that's diabolical work. Why do you hate a bath? Who taught y'all that taking a sit down bath was nasty? Please jump in my comments. Who told y'all that? Who told you? I don't know. It's so disgusting. Y'all learned wrong. And then you can't even tell me why you think it's right. You came up with your own dumbass logistics. Like, yeah, I don't take no sit down bath because then that sweat get up in your vagina. I was talking to a 50-year-old woman the other day, and that lady said, yeah, you can take a bath, but don't let the water get in there. Excuse me, what? That's the best benefit of a sit down bath is that the water gets in there and just sit in there for a second, and then the body gets to absorb some of that water and exchange all that mucus and Sprite, amen, and Pepsi, amen, and Hennessy, amen, and Douce, amen, and them chemicals from that latex condom if you use one, amen. So stop talking to me about a bath because what are you doing? Because are you rolling in a pig pen? And why isn't whatever on your body acceptable enough for you to just be able to sit down in the water for 20 minutes? I promise you will still be clean. I promise. A lot of y'all use antibacterial soap anyway and shouldn't. Ain't them dial bubbles killing the germs? But you ain't thinking about that. Ray Ray got plaque all on his teeth. You letting him eat your cooch. Don't come talking to me about no bath when you sitting up pee popping your coochie on somebody's lap that got Axe sprayed on it. Don't come talking to me. You ain't ever had no green vegetables. You ain't had no green vegetables, and yes, and not overcooked broccoli from Applebee's, Bookie. That's not what I'm talking about. So until y'all start drinking water and minding your own business and using coconut oil on your skin instead of Jergens, don't come over here telling me about how baths ain't good for you and everything. Let's prove that. Pull out the facts because that's what I deal with. I deal in the world of facts. because people will sit up and make you seem like you don't know what you're talking about. I'm a cervical cancer survivor. My cancer's been in remission for years. I don't even go to the doctor on a regular basis. So if I just up and croak, it's because it got me. But as you can see, I'm beautiful and vibrant and in good health. And I can help you do the same thing. Because my regimen may not work for you, but a bath always will. Did you know a sauna was a form of a bath? A bath always will. So at this stage and age in the game, I don't want to hear no more about it. I came here to educate y'all and give y'all information, give you all these bomb coochie tips. Make sure you can put a eggplant in the chokehold. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm here. That's what it's all about. So yes, I will be reporting to you live from the library. I'm gonna throw my little green screen back there so you won't see the door. And we're gonna bring in some guests. We're gonna host a nice little sesh. And we're gonna get into some tea. But I just wanted to get on here and finally pop the cherry on me doing a podcast and going live on YouTube. You'll be able to find me here more than you'll be able to find me on Facebook in a second. And yeah, I guess that's my cue. My people giving me a ring a ding ding. Oh, let's see. This is my midwife, Carmen. Hey, Carmen.
Hey, where you at?
I'm at the Central Library. I'm about to leave in a second.
Oh, which way you headed after that?
What time is it? 12:16. I don't know. I got multiple things that I could be doing. I had to buy this dongle for my printer so I can label some stuff and ship it, but that's really the main priority. Where you at?
I'm at Mercy, but I'm getting ready to head toward my house way.
Okay, Mercy. Oh,
Where you at the Central Library? You downtown?
I am. Did you want to meet like off of Skinker or someone, Clayton? Where is
Uh,
Mercy?
Mercy on Dallas.
Oh, yep, on Dallas Road. I can come a little closer. I can come
How
out there.
about Maplewood? How about Maplewood?
Okay, we can meet in Maplewood. Where you want to meet at?
How about the White Castle's lot too far for you? Okay,
I
I'll
meet
the
you.
White Castle lot in Maplewood.
All right. Well, I'm leaving here in like 5 minutes. I'll see you there.
Me too. I'm gonna put this up, clock out, and walk to my car, and then I'll be down there, boo.
Perfect. I'll see you then.
All right.
Bye.
All right.
I'm gonna be on White Castle lot, eat my lamb chops. But yeah, I just wanted to pop the cherry on the going live on YouTube so that we can get into it. I'll be back later on this week with a more manicured moment, and I'll make sure that we get some topics. I'll make sure that all those who purchase my book get their book this week. It has been rough. It has been rough. So please bear with me. Tune in to the top of this video to figure out what happened with me and Amazon KDP and why they trying to stop and block it, girl. But I know now all the tools that I need to be able to do what I need to do with any book I publish moving forward. And so get ready. I'm not gonna put any of them out until Amazon KDP holds it online for at least a week. And then I'll start selling them. And then I'll be back on my platform stimulating good content. But right now, I'm just going through the motions and a growing pain. So I just want to thank all of my supporters, everybody who bought a book, everybody's tuning into this live. And I'll see y'all next time. And make sure when you get here, talk coochie to me, baby.